Do you feel like you have your place in the world and in your life? Is your life your own? Are you waking up every day feeling really excited about what you're doing and who you're doing it with? Wow, I'm getting closer and closer. Have felt out of place so much that it has brought me down from time to time and created a lot of doubts. At the same time, it's brought a lot of lessons to me and a lot of insights. Hi, I'm Mark Roach, and I'm here to share some of that with you. Hopefully you'll have a smoother path than I had, although I can't guarantee that. Each person needs to own their own life and their own journey. If you're listening, you're probably struggling or troubled, or something is pulling you to find more information about how your life could be working better. My life has been objected toward self-discovery, optimal human potential. I've never felt like the limits that were put on me by others were something I was going to accept. So do you have an inner calling? Do you feel like a misfit? That's okay. What I really wanted to talk about today was about uniqueness. Uniqueness, that's a general term. If you're trying to learn from a book and repeat a pattern, that's going to cause you to find conformity with some norm that has been presented for you to pick up and learn from. Learn is also a generic term. You can learn from a book, or you can also learn from your life and from yourself. I'm not here to claim one is better than the other. All of them have their place. Most well-rounded people have gone to books, they've gone to others to seek opinions, gathered feedback, and also found a way to have a relationship with their own inner guide and learn from themselves. But there is a time whenever you realize that something that's being presented to you doesn't seem to be totally true for you. That can make you feel like an outcast or a misfit. If it happens over and over and over again, you ask yourself, what's going on here? Why is this happening to me? Why don't I feel like I'm fitting in? You look around and everyone else is doing fine with conforming with that pattern or that lifestyle. Maybe you notice that there's people that are drinking or using drugs or acting out, and that doesn't feel right to you, or that is causing trouble for them or causing trouble for you. These are all indicators to me in my life as I look around that people were not really finding everything that they were looking for, maybe not being their best. At some point, a lot of people succumb to a norm or just accept things for what they are, and they stop looking deeper. Maybe they never did. Maybe they never had to. There's thousands of ways that this could play out for you, depending on who you are. I hold that every one of us are unique and special. And ultimately, on your deathbed, if you have a chance to live a long life and look back upon it, the things that you will regret will be those times when you failed to recognize your unique potential. This channel I've called Transcendent because I wanted to find a way to help share with people ways to transcend the norms, the labels that are put on people. Complex PTSD seems to be a common component of many people that I've encountered in my life that have come to me with significant problems that I've assisted in some way or another in helping them deal with or see or run from. I've tried to be authentic and honest with others about what I see. Sometimes people have trouble dealing with some of the truths that others present to them. That's a common pattern in people dealing with trauma. They come and they deal with it for a little bit, and they can only deal with it for so long, and it gets to be too painful. And then they run and they deny it, or they dissociate from the real problems. And then they'll come back and say, well, maybe I need to deal with this. Maybe I need to do a little bit more. maybe I need to talk to somebody about this, or maybe I need to go to the bookstore and get a book, or maybe they search online for some self-help. I went into journaling. I also went into studying acting. In film acting, I found watching my playbacks was shocking to me. Just listening to my own voice at one point in time just made me terrified. I was very critical of myself. I didn't know where that critical voice was coming from. It's taken me years to learn self-acceptance and to understand and to appreciate my own eccentricities. Some of these voices I was hearing early in my journey were the judgment and the lack of acceptance of some of the authentic things about who I'm not alone in this, but man, whenever I was encountering this for the first time, I felt very alone. I felt very ostracized. I felt very threatened. I had inherited this picture-perfect way that my life should be from my parents or from my teachers or coaches. I learned to give them what they expected. If they needed an A, I got an A. If I needed to win in athletics, I found a way to do that. So I excelled in a number of ways that really, in another way, was total self-betrayal. Although in a capitalistic society, you could say that was success. But what I was yearning for was a chance to understand what was really going on deep down inside of me. I challenged myself my whole life, my whole journey, to get into that messy, dark, and frustrating, conflicted part of myself to get to the bottom of things, because I knew that I could never run from that. And at the end of my life, if I hadn't dealt with that feeling, that felt like the abyss. And I went into the abyss many times in the process of learning who I am and accepting what my life is about and the circumstances that evolve in my life and the people that I attract and the people that I love and the people that I have learned that are not good for me. And that's okay. I'd like to help others find their own way to accept their own uniqueness and to dispel the conformity and the cookie cutter approach to life, if that's what you're looking for. There are plenty of people that I know that were raised in a family and given a profession and opportunity and everything that they needed to find total satisfaction and success. To me, it looks like conformity, and it looks like maybe divine intervention. Who am I to make judgment on that? But there are others of us that have felt like we don't fit in to the environment or to the platforms that are there in front of us. Even though you can participate in those and find you can win those games or you can do well on those tests, something is missing inside, something is stirring and is leaving you feeling like there's more. That's the people I'm speaking to. I don't mean to offend those who have not had that experience, but if you have had, you can easily be mislabeled. Like me, I was mislabeled as bipolar or antisocial. Only when I shared what was really going on deep inside of me, my outward performance was very conforming, and I had a lot of success. People could never understand why I felt so conflicted and misunderstood and was on such a strange journey, you could say. But it was my life. It is my life. Those were my choices. I took the path less followed more often than not. I paid the price sometimes for not conforming, not taking the path that looked like the easy route for me, because it always felt like it would take a lot more courage to stay true to myself, to my inner calling, than it would be to go the easy route. So that's the kind of people that have come to me with their lives, circumstances, and confided asking how to deal with relationships, with losses, with aspirations, with feelings they were uncomfortable with. I didn't really know where the answers were going to come from, but I seemed to find something that inside of me that responded to them and helped them find some comfort, some truth, in some cases some peace. In others, I just held their hand. There were some people that just ran. They continue running. I believe in natural remedies and in unforceful approaches to deal with the pain or the disappointment or the success or the surprise. Everyone has their own tolerance and their own means of surviving. When it gets really quiet, sometimes can be really scary. When my life really totally fell apart about 10 years ago, a psychiatrist did tell me that he knew someone that was like me. His best life happened after he totally changed communities. He left the United States and went to Europe. In Europe, he found much more of an accepting culture, a place where he could be authentic and have a relationship with others that accepted his uniqueness that he could not find here in the United States, where things are much more competitive, where aspirations are fed, people support common aspirations that they have with the other people, and that's them alive and vibrant in their own life in the United States. That's fine for many people. But it happens that mine was being fed and falsely supported with pharmaceuticals that were just not right for me. The 4 years it took me to totally cleanse myself from those fasting and exercise and breath work to recover from the losses that I encountered and to find the strength and courage to move forward on my own platform without any knowledge or any confidence, any other group out there that would understand me. That's scary. I hope you'll keep listening to this channel. I would appreciate comments from you to help me concisely direct experiences that I have from around the world, from across all sorts of disciplines and cultures, for a new platform that would help us connect with our humanity. We are losing touch with some of our humanity. We have the privilege of using technology to deliver a message like this. But it's up to us to make sure that we infuse our connections with our humanity and not an artificial means, a fake means of connecting with each other. So that's my message for today. Again, I'm Mark Roach. I'd really appreciate your feedback, your participation in this platform, in building a community that we can all be proud of, find our uniqueness, and appreciate each other for just that. All the best.